Hello, in this video we're going to talk about alternative exercise routines for those people who just don't like the gym or don't want to go to the gym in the current climate. So it's all about what you can do instead. My name is Mark and I'm here to help you live a better, healthier life. Now, if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about practical and effective ways to improve your health and overall wellness, or if you're just interested in knowing more about fitness and nutrition, start now by hitting the subscription button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos going forward. And now, without further ado, let's jump right in. So if you've been watching these videos, you know that I do like going to the gym and I do like walking as my forms of exercise. And I throw in some yoga and other things in there from time to time. Not as much as I should, but from time to time. But I know that these more traditional exercise routines are not for everybody. Not everybody wants to go to the gym or press weights at home or even do body weight exercises at home. And they just want to do something that is a bit more energetic, burns a few more calories than their normal sitting on the couch and watching TV, but they've not really thought about it. And to be honest, I hadn't really thought about it until the other day when it was a bank holiday, and I'm doing some work and I put my Apple Watch on and said, other exercise routine. And I was amazed at how many calories I burnt over the next hour and a half doing what I'll talk about in a second. And it kind of got me thinking that perhaps there are quite a few other things that people could be doing to burn exercise other than your badminton, going for a swim, a run, a jog, a walk, and those traditional things. Particularly for those people who just don't want to go to the gym, don't like the gym. And from having conversations on social media with quite a few people, I get that is quite a strong feeling of, I don't want to go to the gym. Not necessarily because of the time we're in, but just because they don't like gyms or the kind of peer pressure and all the rest of it that kind of goes along, or the image that goes along with going to the gym. So we've got lots of traditional things. We know about those, but what I want to concentrate on in this video is some of those non-traditional alternative exercise routines that we can be doing that burn calories, that keep us getting healthier and fitter, but aren't your traditional ones. So if you like these videos, please do smash that like button. It helps get those videos out there and hopefully help other people. I totally understand that some of these things we're going to cover are not from everybody. So I'm going to start off with one that I just can't do. I tried it quite a few years ago. I'm just physically incapable of doing it at this point. Doesn't help that I'm actually scared of heights as well. So climbing and bouldering, and I'm checking my notes here because I wrote down all the calories you burn from these. But I do have a couple of friends who do climbing and bouldering, and they love it and they think it's a great exercise, and there's a bit social in there as well because it's like-minded people from beginner to expert. But you can burn up to 600 calories per hour, and that's going on somebody who's not the heaviest. I think it was 155 pound person, so a lot lighter than me, but not by any means the smallest, but up to 600 calories per hour. As I said, it's not for me. Even if I was strong enough and fit enough to do it, I'm petrified of heights. But climbing and bouldering is one of those ones there. Another one that I have done quite a lot. I stress not because I enjoy it, but because my wife loves it, and that is dance. We've been to all sorts of dance lessons and dance classes over the years. It's one of those things that she knows I hate it, so she doesn't make me do it too often, but she likes to have a dance at a wedding and all the rest of it. So we decided to learn. She loves it, so why not? It's a bit of exercise, and some people think it's fun. I just have this kind of irrational thought that everybody's watching. They're not, but in my head it just doesn't work. But the fact is that doing dancing, you can burn between 300 and 500 calories per hour going dancing. And that is a much more sociable activity than going to the gym. You are generally talking to people as you're dancing, you're learning how to do it. Whereas gym, I find, don't know about anybody else, let me know in the comments if you disagree, but for me, the gym, I put my headphones in and I'm in my own little world. And although I really enjoy that, it's not a very social activity. So dancing, particularly if you've got a partner who likes it, even if you don't, you will get massive brownie points. It's well worth it just for the brownie points, never mind the calories you're gonna burn as well. But 300 to 500 calories from dancing, it's quite a lot. And it's also one of those things that's quite fun to do. The social bit of it's really good. And it is one of those things, like I said, that if you can cope with dancing and your partner loves dancing, you will get some major brownie points. So in my book, it is a win-win because you're burning those calories, you're having a bit of a social, and key, getting those brownie points at the same time. So that's dancing. And it doesn't really matter what form of dancing. You know, you burn between 300 and 500 calories per hour doing that. Another one. I know that it's a little bit more social, it's done in gyms, but you can do it at home as well, which is boxing or shadow boxing. And if you've got a partner who likes it and you can get those pads, then you can actually do it together and both be burning calories, having a bit of a laugh while you're doing it. And here's the sort of kicker for that. Boxing can, if you're doing it energetically and if you manage to last for an hour, which I never do, but if you lasted for an hour, it can burn up to 800 calories per hour doing boxing. That is a lot of calories. And it's one of those things that a bigger person like me, I might not be able to last for the full hour, but I will burn a significant amount of calories doing that. And it works your whole body because you're moving your feet, you're keeping your core, you're moving your hands and arms. And it is one of those things that I have done it from time to time. I normally do it in the gym, I hasten to add, but it is one of those things that it can burn a shed load of calories, up to 800. And obviously, you know, it's that full body movement as well. And although there is some impact, it is better on the joints, I find, for bigger people, because you're not actually doing, it's running. Running for me, it kills me, absolutely kills me. Whereas boxing, you know, it's all about movement rather than actually impact. It's good. So up to 800 calories. The next one for me is something I really like, and that's yoga. Yoga is at its core stretching, getting in touch with yourself, and actually being, you know, better in terms of flexibility, balance, and everything else. But the fact is that you can burn between 180 and 600 calories per hour doing yoga. So I guess it comes down to how difficult the poses are, how much you hold those poses, and the level of effort you put in to do it. I find some of the things that you do in yoga absolutely kill me and I'm a sweaty mess. And some things I do and I've come out of it fairly relaxed and breathing nicely and all the rest of it. So yoga, I'm a really big fan of it. It's one of those things that for me, it is, depending on the day, something I do quite strenuously or quite relaxed, depending on what frame of mind I'm in. It depends a lot on how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, but also the poses I choose to do on that particular session. But 180 to 600 calories per hour is quite a lot for something that's low impact, and something, the only space you need is the space of your body. You know, whether you're lying down doing it, sitting, doing it, standing. There are lots of modifications you can do, and it's good for all levels. Although I do have to laugh at myself quite often as I fall over and totter around, because my balance is shocking. It really is shocking. Flexibility is getting better, but it's still bad. But my balance is, and always has been, just appalling. So here comes the two that got me thinking about these alternative exercise routines. And these two are, I never really thought about it. I just hadn't thought about it at all until yesterday when I actually was doing some gardening, you know. And when I say gardening, I haven't got green fingers. I wasn't sitting there, growing, tomato plants or anything useful. I was literally using the opportunity with my wife being away to tidy up the garden, do the weeding, de-weed the patio, brush it down, all of those kind of jobs that, they're basically my jobs. My wife grows things, not that well. I love you, but not that well. But she tries to grow things. I'm just not. So I thought, right, the wife's out for the day. I will actually go and I'll de-weed, scrub, hose down, sweep the patio, de-weed the whole garden, and basically did that for about an hour and a half and burnt a whole pile of calories in that nearly 2 hours. And it is one of those things that I looked online in terms of the calories, because I'd burnt about 700 calories in the space of less than 2 hours. When I say 2 hours, I mean probably an hour of actual work and another hour of relaxing and taking it easy and taking a breather, but still doing little bits. So 700 calories in not a lot. And I know that an Apple Watch is not the most accurate thing in the world, but when I looked the numbers up online, it did say that between 200 and 400 calories per hour doing gardening, depending on how vigorously you're doing it. Obviously nearer the 400 mark if you're digging up and turning over soil, nearer the 200 mark if you're just pottering, doing little jobs. But that's still, in my mind, that's still extra calories that I hadn't planned on doing. That was on top of my normal workout, that was on top of my normal dog walk, all the rest of it. And it was about 700 calories for that less than 2 hours that I was going to do anyway. But you could easily make that part of your routine. If you do like the garden and you've got tasks to do and it's a nice day, why not put a bit more energy into it, do it a little bit more than you would have done before, and actually have a think that those calories are things that you can easily do, and you don't need the kit, you don't need the equipment. It's just you, your gardening tools, whatever they are. Most people have, things to do in the garden, and then you have a nicer garden to sit in and relax afterwards, hopefully, if it's a nice sunny day. I thought I was going to sit in the garden today with a beer, and it's just been raining. So nice day yesterday, worked my behind off. Today was going to take advantage of it, and rain. So yes, not the best in the UK, but gardening, 200 to 400 calories per hour gardening, and you get a nicer looking garden at the end of it. And the last one, which again, I was trying to be nice, I was doing some hoovering and everything else, and I thought, because I was in that frame of mind, you can tell that yesterday for me was a chore day. It was doing the washing, it was sorting out the garden, having a bit of a hoover. I just wanted some extra brownie points. So again, I put my Apple Watch on to record the calories, and lo and behold, I actually burnt an extra couple of hundred calories by putting a little bit more effort into some chores around the house, from hoovering the floors, etc. Now, I'm never, as my wife will attest, I'm never going to be a housework god. I do little bits every now and again, from scrubbing a bathroom to doing a floor. But the fact is that you can again end up with a much nicer house that's cleaner and tidier and all the rest of it, and burn off some calories from doing some gardening. And again, it all depends on how much effort you're putting in, and how much, the web article I read was about how much vigor you put into your cleaning. So if you do it at a very sedate pace, you'll burn less, but if you give it a good go, you will actually burn more. But it said between 100 and 300 calories per hour from doing housework. So if you want a neater garden and to burn some calories, if you want a neater house, do some extra housework with a bit more energy and a bit more vigor. I know it might sound very obvious, but I'd never actually thought about it. And I never actually thought, yes, I need to walk the dogs every day because the dogs need walking and I enjoy the walk. And that is in the snow, the rain, the sleet, the sun, whatever it is. But If I don't fancy doing a session, at home in terms of bodyweight exercises and all the rest of it, and I fancy actually burning some calories, I might have to at least think about doing some housework or some work in the garden. I might end up with, a much nicer garden more often, because normally I do nothing and then the weeds grow up to a point where I have to spend a day doing it like I did yesterday, and then it looks lovely, and then I leave it too long. Perhaps I should just do a little bit more often. Perhaps that's the moral of the story, isn't it? More housework, more gardening, burn some extra calories. I know these are things that they're not really an exercise routine, but they are. And if you think about them as an exercise routine in terms of burning calories, you might do them more often, or at least I think, now that I'm thinking that way, I might do them more often, and I hope it was useful to everybody else. So, if you've enjoyed this video, like I said, smash that like button, and I will see you in the next video.